driving traffic to a calendar that leaks high ticket deals is the most expensive mistake by far that you can do in your whole career. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can stop the bleeding right now, capture all of those leads and turn them into money. Here you can see Alex Baker says that by far iClosed is the best booking software, and it's not even close, okay? And I'm going to show you why he's saying that, and actually why all of those companies over here actually talking and recommending iClosed, okay? They are recommending iClosed not because iClosed is a scheduler, but because iClosed is a revenue engine that is going to help you make money that didn't even exist. We're going to help you generate profit that wasn't even there, okay? So you can see in this ad account, we spend $1.6 million in ads. And I know who you are. I know my avatar. I know that you're running an offer, a high ticket offer, you have an agency or you have a SaaS product, and you're driving traffic to a website or to a funnel, and you having appointment setter, closers, a scheduler on the website, and you make sure that as much with your sales team, but you have so many problems that it makes almost impossible for you to scale. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how we can fix all of that. Hi, my name is Ismael. I'm the founder of iClosed.io, and I was just like you running my own offer a few years ago, and I spent millions on ads, and I made over 8 figures in sales. The way that we did it, it was I had a high ticket offer, okay? I had a high ticket offer, and I was training and staffing closers, and I had all of the problem that you have, but I thought that I was the only one who has this problem. But because I was training appointment setters and closers, I had like kind of the privilege to take a look into all of those sales teams. And then I realized that actually everybody having the leak, everybody is having this leak. And I thought that that was not normal, because the reality is that everybody is complaining. The setter complains about the closer says that the marketing team doesn't bring qualified appointment, and the marketing team complains about the closers not being able to close. And you as a business owner or as a marketer, you're sitting in between, eating your popcorns and seeing all the money vanish. And at some point, it's just a gambling, right? It's a casino, and you're just hoping that, throwing so much spaghetti on the wall, hoping that one will stick. So if you want a predictable way of scaling, just like all of those brands, I'm going to show you exactly the framework, okay? I already spoke about capturing the leads before, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works. So I'm going to come over here in the scheduler that you can embed right now inside of your own funnel. It takes a few minutes to set up. I'm going to put a phone number, and just like most of your leads, I'm going to stop right here. But the difference here is that you can see that we capture the contact even if he didn't actually book the call. And that makes the whole difference for your business. I'm going to go inside of the global data, which is kind of the brain of your iClosed account. And here you can see that leads is here. And we also send a direct Slack notification to your appointment setter to say, hey, we have a new lead, go get him. So your appointment setter go into appointment setting tab, which is a built-in appointment setting engine just for your appointment setter. So we make sure that they do the only thing we ask them to do, which is calling the lead and booking the call with your sales team. So now we're taking leads that were not even there, we capture those leads, and we turn them into profit just for you, and it's just amazing. So in terms of revenue, I'm going to show you the money, okay? That's how it looks like. We have the math. We were able to generate 5,800 extra calls, just because you can see over here, we have all of those leads, 12,000 people who booked a call by themselves, but we have 19,000 extra contacts who actually never booked a call. And this is how we actually turn them into revenue. So we have an appointment setter calling them SAP that makes 5,800 extra calls. And since our sales team is closing at 20%, we generate 1,170 extra sales, and our offer was at $3,000 a pop. So, which makes something around $3,500,000 extra profit, and I'm not even talking about the revenue that comes from the normal calls. So imagine if you are able to generate that much extra revenue without increasing your cost, just like that. Because when you take a look at the ad account, you can see we spend 1.6 million over here, but over here we generate 3.5 million, which means that we are running at 2x ROAS, return on ad spend, just with extra lead with those numbers. And obviously every business is different, so we built this calculator to show you a little bit how can it look like for your own business. So if you have a lead that is capture, you have 500 leads, let's say 500 leads, and your sellers, let's say, even is able to book at 20%, and you have a close rate at 20% with a 5K offer, you make 100K extra a month. Okay, so even if the seller convert 10% of those leads into an extra call, free call, you still make 600K at the end of the year. And the secret here is very simple. The secret here is this one, the speed to lead. The speed to lead is the biggest indicator of success. Okay, so if you have the leads and you don't have any notification, it's really hard for your seller to actually book the call. If it's, because appointment sellers and sales team are actually usually, they don't really like tech. They're not technical. Okay, so what we built inside of iClosed is to make it very easy for your whole team to actually do the only job you want them to do. Appointment setter, book the calls and confirm the appointment. Closers, close the deals. That's the only job they have to do. And after that, the marketer can track with analytics that I'm about to show you in a second. But bottom line, you want it to make very easy for your appointment setter to dial the leads and to confirm the appointment or to convert those extra leads into extra calls. And the way that you do that is very simple. You go inside of iClosed, you connect your Slack, and every time that we have an extra lead that falls from the sky, your setter is notified and is able to dial the lead ASAP and turn them into extra revenue. We have the calculator. I'm going to add a link below. Okay, so this is how you turn profit out of thin air. Okay, so you had the leak and we fixed it with iClosed Scheduler. Okay, and I'm going to show you in a second how it works and how you can set all of this. But if you thought that that was your only problem, well, I'm sorry, because you have more problem that luckily we're going to help you fix right now. So iClosed is going to help you fix all of those problems, which is first, you're leaking revenue. After that, you're wasting time with leads that are not qualified. And on top of that, your pixel is completely, he doesn't know what's happening. He doesn't know who is qualified. He doesn't know what to optimize for. And he's just sending you bad leads, which is what I called G.I. Joe, garbage in, garbage out. So iClosed sales infrastructure is going to help you fix all of those problems. First, we're going to capture the leads, just like I showed you, and we're going to turn that into extra profit. Okay. After that, we're going to enrich the leads. If you're in the US, we can enrich the lead with a credit score. Imagine if you could know how much debt to income ratio your leads had. What is the actual credit score or every single lead who land on your scheduler before they even book a call. So then you can disqualify them. If you're not in the US, you can ask questions such as, how big is your business? What's your monthly revenue? If you're an agency, have you ever run ads? And based on that, you can disqualify. So now we are generating extra lead and we make money with that. We save time by disqualifying tire kickers. Okay. Then after that, we route because we want to send the best lead that we just qualified to the best closer. Because why would you send a lead who is really qualified to a closer who just started? You're just reducing your chances of generating more money. We can do that inside of iClosed. And after that, when we have all of those layers together, we're going to make sure that we send the right data to Hyros, Google Tag Manager, and Meta, so that they can optimize on good data, so then we can have more. So this is the plan. This is what I'm going to show you in this video. Okay? And at the end, it's just like the pinnacle. It's impossible. It's almost impossible to not generate an extra 6 or 7 figure a year just by using this system. Okay. So let's start with the disqualification because we already covered the extra lead and how it works. So I'm going to go inside of the iClosed account. I'm going to go into the AI scheduler over here. And I'm going to show you how it works inside of one event. You can see over here that I can ask invitee question, and you can ask questions such as, what is your monthly revenue? In this case, 50K, 50 to 250 and 250 plus. If we see that those leads are not converting, well, it's really simple. I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to disqualify them. And when you disqualify them, they're not hitting your pixel, which is very handy. 50K, and you can even redirect them to a school community, to a YouTube channel, or after that I'm going to show you how you can actually send them to an appointment setter if you really want to squeeze every bit of your funnel. So now done. Now I captured the leads already. I disqualified the tire kicker. Now I only have the qualified people coming on my calendar, on my scheduler. Now it's time to send the best lead to the best closer. So I'm going to pick invite you question. What is your current revenue? I'm going to send this one. Those are really qualified leads. And I'm going to send them to the best closer. And actually, I'm also going to check this box, which means that if this guy is busy, well, I'm just going to send them to everybody, because you don't want to send leads to a closer who is busy. You're again losing revenue. Select the host, done. So I just showed you how we capture, disqualify, and route. Now I will save, and I'm going to show you something else. The problem is when you the reason why people are not really doing this is because the sales team always says we are busy. The thing with being busy is that you're not making money. You're not necessarily making money when you're busy. And most appointment setters need to know this rule. If they know this rule and they're not dialing the lead fast enough, it's either because they're busy for real or they don't want to do it. Why would they be busy and not generate as much revenue as they would like? It's most often because their leads are not actually real leads. It's really hard to dial a ghost, a lead that doesn't exist, which is why we have phone validation and email validation. Because if you know that the 5-minute rules 100x your chances of contacting this lead, this is your number one priority as an appointment setter. But most setters, they are focusing on the wrong leads. So in order to clean this, you need to turn on phone and email validation to make sure that every single lead who fall into your funnel, into your CRM, inside of your scheduler, is actually a real human being. When we nail this part, then it becomes, and we have a Slack notification, then your appointment setter can just do that really fast, really quickly. And if you have the built-in appointment setting tab inside of the global data, it's almost impossible for them to not do their job, right? And on top of that, you can still track everything inside of your sales team, and you know exactly what's working, what doesn't, and you can adjust based on that. So we're making everybody happy inside of iClosed. The marketer, the sales manager, the CEO, the CRO, the closers, and the appointment setters, which is why I said that iClosed is a revenue engine. It's more than a scheduler. So let's go back. Because you also disqualify the tire kickers, now your appointment setter, and you disqualify the tire kickers, and your appointment setter has more time because you also validate the phone number and the email. So now whenever the appointment setter is going to call the lead, guess what? The phone number is going to ring because it's a real phone number. There's around 20 to 35% of all phone numbers that are coming to schedulers and forms that actually are not valid. So just by turning on one checkbox, you are increasing the efficiency of your sales team. And again, keep in mind that this is the most important data that you should keep in mind when you're running an appointment setting department, okay? So let's go back. Now we are stacking things on top of each other. You are disqualifying based on invitee question. So you ask them about their revenue. You can also disqualify based on the country. So let me show you how it works. So you can come over here, and again, you disqualify. You add another disqualification reason, any time zone, but also country code. So if you're not working with some countries, region, you can just disqualify them and they will not be able to book a call. But again, it's not because they're disqualified that they will not be able to book to be captured. So we capture every single lead, and your appointment setter can call them later anyway. This is just to protect the time and the calendar of your sales team. There is debt to income ratio, which is a glitch. Again, this is almost unfair to have that. It's like basically playing poker and knowing the cards of your opponents. It's like, you know, before it even starts, if you can do business with this person, which is completely, it it completely changed the game for you because you already know the likelihood of closing this deal. So let me show you how it works. I'm just going to delete those conditions. So first you need to come, I'm going to just go to data intelligence, and you just need to turn it on. You need to be a US business, and you can have credit score or credit score plus DTI. When you configure and save, you are coming over disqualification, and I'm going to delete this rule, and I'm just going to disqualify based on credit score. So for example, let's say that we want to disqualify the credit score that are 300 to 579. So I can just do that. I can also again redirect them to a school community or to a YouTube channel. And I'm also going to disqualify the high debt to income ratio, because when you're selling an offer and you're selling an offer for like $30,000, $50,000, most likely people are buying with financing, right? They cannot afford the financing of 30K if they have 51% debt to income ratio. So again, you're just wasting your time if you're not doing it. So you can just do that, and I'm going to show you the kind of data that you're getting inside of the global data. So you just have to go to here, credit check. This is dummy data. Obviously, I will not share financial data on a video like this, but you can see here we have credit score, debt to income ratio, credit limit, debt to income, and so on and so forth. And you can also see actually the pre-approval amount, the income, the personal income, the estimated household, which is just amazing to know that. And best of all, you know this instantly. So the person just have to put phone number, email, and name, and check the box, because yes, it's FRCA compliant 100%. And within a few seconds, we know, while the lead is filling the form, we know if they can afford your offer. And based on that, we apply the rules that you configured in your scheduler. So instantly, we're sending the right leads to the right closer, disqualifying, and also, which is my next point, nurturing your pixel with credit score, which is just amazing. Okay, let's go back, and then you can let the right lead comes in. So we disqualify, we capture the leads before, we disqualify, we route, and basically, by the way, routing, round robin is just a communist thing, okay? It's basically just fairness. Most people are just round robining their leads, sending the leads equally. But if you have an A player who close deals left and right, an absolute machine, why would you send the most qualified appointment to the person who just started? And actually people don't realize how bad is this. So I want to show you. Here we have a calculator. It's a smart routing calculator, and let's take this example, okay? Normal business doing 10 calls a day, 300 calls a month with 3 reps. The top rep, which is actually quite realistic, closing at 35 and the others at 18. You always have one closer who close almost double than all the others. And then you have an average deals at 5K. What happens if you redirect 10% of the best lead to this top closer? You are adding another 200K at the end of the year. And this 200K is on top of, it's amazing. This 200K is on top of this, the revenue that you generate from the extra leads. Again, if you have 500 leads extra captured with iClosed, and you have an appointment setter that dial this lead, it is really bad at only at 10%, and your close rate is at 20% with a 5K offer, you make an extra 600K at the end of the year. So we're stacking the unfair advantage left and right. And again, this is on top of the revenue that you generate from the core who are booked normally, the extra leads. This is how I was able to actually outperform all my competitor in the French market, because they were still using all this other calendar, using Zapier, trying to make it work, trying to make a living, when we are operating on different scale of efficiency. So if you're not a communist, you want the money routing, which is exactly what I explained just earlier, being able to route based on time zone, being able to redirect based route based on invited question and answer and on credit score. It's basically VIP for the most qualified appointment, okay? And obviously they already showed you all of that. So let's step back before going to the last one. We're stacking the extra leads with the disqualification, with the money routing, and all of that in one software. And now we're talking about optimization and scaling, because your media buyer doesn't know what to do. I know I'm a marketer, I've spent money, and it's almost impossible to track accurately what's happening inside of a sales team. Even if you're using Hyros, if you're not using Hyros and iClosed, it almost doesn't work. Actually doesn't work, because the thing is, you're optimizing for MQL, you're not optimizing for SQL, marketing qualified lead, sales qualified leads. And you need to optimize for SQL because you are putting so much money at risk when you spend on ads, because you actually don't know if the leads actually showed up. You're only optimizing based on calls, okay? And this is just the media buying part, which is the most important. But also after that, you have a CRM which is not organized. It's just a mess. You're not supposed, you cannot just continue like this. So how do you do that? And by the way, we integrate with any CRM. Some people are using iClosed as a CRM, some don't. If you're using Go High Level, ClickFunnels as a web page, or ActiveCampaign, Close, Pipedrive, HubSpot, you name it, you can connect it in one click and you're good to go. If you don't want, you just use iClosed. We're not competing with CRM. We just happen to have a tab and play around with this and to help you guys make money. And the media buying is just one part. The other part is just all the tools that you're using. The CRM, the Zapier, the Google Sheet, where nobody understands what's happening. Everything is lost. The marketing is chaos. The sales ops is chaos. And trying to duct tape all of that with Zapier and Make and N8 to try to just make it work, but it doesn't work. Simply because it's just impossible if you don't have a tool built for it. And iClosed is built for this, okay? So we're fixing the marketing department and the sales ops, the revenue ops. So how do you do that? Very simple. You go into iClosed, you connect your Meta, you connect your Google Tag Manager, and you connect Hyros. Once you do this, anytime that somebody lands on your scheduler, we actually know who they are. We send this back to the ad platform and we optimized based on qualified appointment only. We have a whole course inside of iClosed University showing you how to use it and all of that. But bottom line, by using Hyros also as an integration, you're actually sending an SQL, sales qualified leads, and your marketer for the first time ever, which is going to be a game changer for you when you're going to realize that, is that he's basically going to see the truth. Finally, is basically going to be able to know, okay, I spent $1,000 yesterday. Those leads are cancel calls. I'm going to cut this ad and I'm going to reinvest only on the winners. And instead of taking 45 days, it's just going to take 48 hours. So that's the level of efficiency. And this is only media buying, being able to track your show up rate, your closing rate, all of that into one place, know exactly by type of answer, what type of lead or actually booking a call, what type of lead or actually buying from your offer. So then you can disqualify and route based on that. If you know that, oh, actually, there's some lead who have a really low show up rate. You know what I'm going to do? Oh, very simple. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to disqualify them. Oh no, you know what? I'm going to actually route them to my appointment sellers. So you see how is this software working together. I've built the machine that actually I always wanted, basically. I'm just like a kid playing around and building the best possible software to make it impossible to not generate millions. Basically, that's what I'm doing here, okay? And you can come over here, and it's very simple again for your sales team to scale, because to your sales team to add outcomes, because people say, okay, how does that work literally with my sales team? What do my sales team need to do? Well, your appointment setter on one side only need to do what I showed you earlier, and your closers only need to do one job, which is come over here, go inside of the AI scheduler, go to upcoming calls. So they see their calls. Amazing. Actually, you can see mark slot as free. Why? I'm just digressing here a little bit. You can see here, oh, mark slot as free. What is a mark slot as free? If you contact a lead and the lead doesn't answer, you're not going to cancel the call because this guy might come on the call. Well, most people cancel the call. What we do at iClosed is that we just mark it as free. So it's double booked. Best scenario, they both come on the call and your closer go with the most qualified. Otherwise, your closer actually end up having somebody on the phone because you want to maximize the amount of hours that your closer is on the phone. And if there is a high no-show rate, he's basically wasting 60-80% of his day. And he doesn't want to do that if he's an A player. Otherwise, he's going to work with somebody else and you have to retrain somebody, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, you know it. So you can reschedule, cancel, all the good stuff over here. And now, like, okay, I did my call. I close this guy. What do? You go to past call. And then I'm going to find something where, yeah, you go to past call and then you just add an outcome. You add an outcome, you add a sale. You say, oh, yeah, I overcame the money objection. And here I just add a $9,800 deal and I just mastermind and I push it. Done. Job done as a closer. Easy. Now, all of that makes sense. Now I see it on my revenue dashboard. Hyros has the information, sending back to the AI ad platform. It's just epic. And if you are not closing this deal, you go to no sales, you go to no show, and you ping this lead as a no-show. And this way, the marketer, the next day when he wakes up, he open his beautiful dashboard inside of Meta, and he see, oh, I spent $1,000 yesterday, 10 calls were booked, 1 is already no-show, and he can move on. Otherwise, you have to go in a hot on Slack, talk to the sales team, or I don't know, let me look into the CRM or the spreadsheet, and it doesn't work. You need efficiency lever, and iClosed is here for you. So let's talk about the integration because I know you guys want to integrate just to so we're on the same page. Obviously Google Calendar, email, phone validation, credit score, credit check, Zapier, Slack, Make, Meta, Google. You can import all your events from Calendly, Zoom, Google Meet, obviously, Stripe to generate all the revenue, Hyros, HubSpot, Close, and Pipedrive. So you can have that, and with Zapier and Make, you basically connect to any software in the market. From here, you know how it works. There's the old way, and there's the new way. The old way is just trying all of those software and duct tape them together with Zapier, Make, and 8, and trying to make something that looks like something. But you know deep in your heart that it doesn't work because those software were not built for you, just happen to be there. The new way is just using a software, a revenue engine that was built specifically for business like yours, with feature that makes the whole difference, capturing the leads, disqualifying, credit score, lead routing, pixel optimization. And if this wasn't enough, for every single lever we built iClosed University. Because if I had that, back in the days, I would have made an extra $8 or $15 million. Because efficiency lever are the most important thing that a business owner or a lead can take in his company. But if you only have the lever and you don't have the knowledge of how to use them, well, I'm not doing my job. My job is to make it unreasonable for you to not make an extra 6 or 7 figure profit in your business. And I want to do anything I can in order to do that. So for that, I have an offer for you. The first is that you can have access to iClosed with a 14 days business trial right now. You don't have to pay anything. You can go there, try it for free, add the disqualification, route the leads to the best closer, and see the extra lead coming to your scheduler. Don't forget to add this Slack notification, and don't forget to tell your appointment setter to call them back within the first 5 minutes. Okay? The second thing I have for you is iClosed University. Every single lever has a built-in course inside of iClosed University. Because again, I wanted to make sure that you have all the knowledge you need in order to scale. Okay? So in iClosed University, we built a course multiple videos for every single level to make sure that there is no question that hasn't been answered. And if that wasn't enough, for business customer, we also hop on a call with you. Okay, for business customer above 5 seats or 5 seats or above, we come on a call with you for free, and we just make sure that you get everything you need, any question. And on top of that, we have an intercom chat pop-up where we answer any of your question within a few minutes, within business hours. Okay, so iClosed is just the software that I dreamed of when I was still running high ticket offer, and I wish I had it, but it's fine because I built it. We've built it. Today, you can start a free trial with iClosed. Within 14 days trial, you're going to see the value. You're going to see the extra lead laying there. You're going to see all of the leads that you disqualified that should have wasted your time but didn't. You will see that actually you are able to route the right leads to the right closer. You will also see that your pixel is getting better. All of a sudden, your pixel is optimizing on good data, and you're stopping to have this G.I. Joe syndrome, which is garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so get started today with iClosed. I was happy to have you here. By the way, my name is Ismael, founder and CEO of iClosed, if I didn't say it, but can't wait to see you on the other side. Peace.